Okay, happy Tuesday again, all of you guys. Today is April the 19th. It's about 10:08 in the morning. Today's training is going to be on Skyslope, our paperless platform provided by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. And again, this service is free of charge. Okay, so you guys don't pay a dime out of it. Now, if you don't have a Skyslope access at this moment, it's because again, you don't have a transaction. So once you have a transaction open or you possibly take a listing, please let me know. If you're in Downey or in Softy, please let me know. So go ahead and add you and then give you a login and password so you can have access to Skyslope. Until then, if you don't, then yes, you will not have access to Skyslope until you get something on the pipeline. So please just follow me, take note, because I want to make sure that once you're fully there with something on your name, then you know how to navigate, go through it, and utilize Skyslope. All right. So first things first, let me actually start sharing my screen. The website for Skyslope is skyslope.com. Okay, that's the actual website itself. Okay, skyslope.com. And so please take note of that. And once, let me remove this out of the way. And you got to go to login. Now, when you click login, you will have three different options: Skyslope Suite, Skyslope Forms, and Breeze. Okay. We'll go through. I'll do my best to go through all three different platforms here, but the main one is Skyslope Suite. Okay. Click here, and then it's gonna open another window, and then right here you got the login that I created for you. Okay, it could be your email, it could be your username, whatever you want to use. Okay, but I would definitely recommend to use your own personal email under skyslope.com. Okay, sign in, and then it's gonna walk you through the home page. Okay, so this is what the actual user does look. Okay, so again, right here it's asking me to accept their updated terms. Okay, so of course you're gonna go to them, click here, privacy policy. I accept. So pretty much right here we have 10 icons. Okay, and 6 tabs on top, and with different stuff on top as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go through every single one. Okay, if you have any questions, please go ahead and actually unmute yourself, or please put it in a chat box, or just wait until the end until we're almost done, and we'll go through a Q&A as well.
Freddy, so could you give me a minute for me to catch up?
Give you a minute to catch up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone else might need time to.
Why is that, Freddy? What's going on with you?
Hold on, I'm logging in. Hold on. Okay, there. I'm there. Sorry.
He's logging in at the same time you're going. I get it.
Okay, happy thoughts. All right. Anybody else? You know, you guys, I love you guys a lot. All right. So, so pretty much I'm gonna go through different icons that we have here. But the very first thing that I want you guys to keep an eye and be aware, right here on the upper left corner, where it says Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, this when you click here, this is your home page. Okay, this brings you back to this home page right here. Okay, so when you click here, it's gonna bring you back to this home page where you're at right now. Okay, so if you go to the right, you have the little search bar, support, print, and then you have this apps right here, and then trading agent as well. Okay, so when you hit search, this search bar, okay, is to search for any property, any agent name, client's name, escrow number, MLS, or an file ID, right? Support, if you click on support, it's gonna bring you back to their site. Okay, so right there, again, if you need help, again, you can always call them directly, and they will walk through the steps and everything else, or guide you how to follow the actual Skyslope. Now, you can always call me as well, but again, if you need more intense support, yes, feel free to contact Skyslope support. And you want to print anything else, hit print. So the first thing we want to go, actually, we want to go to our name here. So for me, in this case, it says training agent because this is my my Skyslope for training. So I'm gonna click here. Make sure you have your email and then my account. I'm gonna go to my account first, click here. And then right here, when it says personal information, make sure that your full name, last name, email address, phone numbers, your address, office address, zip code, city, state, fax, it's all there, okay? Make sure if it's not, then you can always come back and do some changes to it if you want to. Otherwise, leave it alone. Once you're okay with that, hit save. Now, before you hit save, okay, I want you guys to also take a note that right here, you have your own personal Skyslope email address, okay? Now, so in this case, I'm assuming for you, Alfredo, since usually you're going with me and following the steps, yours might have Alfredo Bañuelos at skyslope.com. Is that correct, Alfredo?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. Again, and it's now keep in mind, is this different from the one you log in? Okay, it's very different. This is your login email to log into your Skyslope. Now, you might ask yourself, well, why do I have another email from Skyslope? Well, let me tell you why. The reason you have another email from Skyslope is because when you send any documentation, okay, or anything else, it will come to your documents folder, okay, and I will tell you where that goes, okay. So keep in mind that you're able to receive emails on a PDF format for Skyslope, but you're not able to send out. So you don't have an inbox. You only have actually an, I'm sorry, you have an inbox, but you don't have an outbox. Okay, you cannot send emails out. You only receive emails at a PDF format. Okay, next thing you want to go to notifications, next tab, and please leave it as is, unless you want to actually make some changes to your listing notifications, transactions, or your text email notifications. Okay, by default it works fine. Leave it alone. Unless you know play with it, feel free. But in my thing, I would say leave it alone. Okay, hit save. And also now you also have a signature as well. Okay. Again, keep in mind this is just for your transactions. So when you do send any DocuSign, okay, or any DigiSign in this case, okay. Have you heard of DocuSign? Do you know what is DocuSign? DocuSign is a digital ink for signatures via email. So DigiSign is an equivalency of DocuSign in Skyslope. Okay. So when you send anything to be signed, digital ink, okay, or digital signatures, okay, this is where your emails, your signatures going to appear on that folder, the format. Now, if you want to also change your password, you got to remember your old password, okay, and then change your new password as well and confirm it and hit save, okay. But then again, you got to have at least 8 or more characters, at least 1 uppercase, 1 lowercase, and at least 1 number, okay. So please take a note of that. When it comes to your directory, okay, keep in mind that these are the people you probably have uploaded or used in your Skyslope. Okay, so pretty much this is different people that have, pretty much for practice. It appears here, and eventually when we start adding more people, more contacts, then all this list will auto-populate as well. Okay, integrations right here on the next tab. Again, unless you want to integrate your or generate key for Skyslope, feel free, but otherwise if you don't, then leave it alone. Okay, now let me go back one step last. Okay, and now you could definitely delete multiple contacts if you want to. For example, I want to delete right here, this one's here, and maybe buyer, no emails, and then right here delete multiple, and then delete contact right there, and then for yes, delete forever, and they're gone. Okay, so that's how it is actually. Now you can actually also upload multiple contacts if you want to, or create a contact as well. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go back to my home page, and it goes in the upper left corner right here, and there you go, we're in the back in the home page, right? Okay, so right here you have different 6 tabs. You have a schedule closing this month, actives, pendings, close this month, expired escrows this month, and expired listing this month. So far I have 2 pending transactions, okay, that are pending at this moment in my Skyslope. Okay, do not be confused with MLS, and do not be confused with anything else. This is only saying that I have 2 files that are pending right now under review for Skyslope. So if I click on the number 2 right here, it's gonna bring me up my transactions that I have pending. Okay, they could either be an escrow open or a listing contract as well. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I have 2 pending transactions, right? And they're located on 123 Main Street in Southgate. And then I have another one on 789 South Broadway in Los Angeles. Okay, and so on and so on. Now, if I click here on the actual property on Main Street, okay, click here. Now, as you notice, it's expired. Now, why does it say expired? Because most likely this property, it was supposed to close escrow back in when? Ramon? When was this property supposed to close, Ramon? You're muted, my friend.
Look like November?
No, right here.
March 11th.
March. You're right. Yeah. So that's why this transaction has expired, because again, the close of escrow has expired already. It has gone beyond the close of escrow, pretty much. So we're already a month and a week ahead right now from the close of escrow, right? So now, don't think because it expired, you won't be able to do anything to the actual transaction. No, it's just letting you know this property has expired based on the close of escrow that you have actually had coordinated or scheduled to close to. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, now right here when you go to my transaction, you have more tabs on top here. You have transactions, contacts, commissions, checklists, documents, log, task, and property. Okay, now right here on this little drop-down menu, you have a download summary or cancel the transaction. Okay, so pretty much I'm gonna click on the first tab, which is my transaction right here where I'm at right now. Okay, so right here, if this is an actual pending or expired transaction, this most likely is already in escrow. But I don't want to get ahead of my game. So let me go back to the home page. Okay, now anything else here? If I click into another tab, there's nothing there. Inactives, nothing. Okay, now all this here, there's no active listings. But look at the bottom, I have canceled listing pending approvals. Okay, so I do have 4 listings that I have canceled on my trainings, right? Now, can I go back and open it up? Yes, I can. I could definitely open it up, okay, and see what happened. Why did I cancel? So right here on the review, required, and so on, okay. So this one actually has been canceled, okay. So no, it's no longer. Now this button says this button is disabled for the following reasons. This listing is canceled, so I cannot accept contract. So let me go back to my home page. Okay, close this month, 0. Close escrows or expired, 0 as well. And then expired listings for the month as well is 0, actually right here. So nothing has expired so far because the last ones are from February, October, September, and January, right? So go back to the home page. Now, before I show you every single icon, what it does, okay, when it comes to Skyslope, okay, let me first walk you through your working documents, okay, right here, okay. Now on your working documents, okay, right here, this is when you get an email, okay. So when you get any emails, okay, to that email that I was talking to Freddy about, okay, it will show up right here. It will come up right here, okay. Any PDF format, it will come here. Now, this is your personal documents. Now, if you go to Office Docs, okay, now this is going to auto-populate all the checklists and anything that is required, okay, based on the type of transaction, okay. So this is company-wide, okay, company-wide. Again, we're talking about the entire Berkshire Hathaway Home Services company library, okay. So now, what do we have on different folders? Well, on the company-wide, on the first folder, if you notice here, it says BHHS listing checklist. The other one is BHHS disclosures, and so on, purchase checklist. And now the next one, it says list of city reports for LA County and city reports applications for the LA County. And then we also have a BHHS W9 form. And we also have one for Huntington Beach W-9 form, and then a sign request for sign up and sign down, and then training. Okay. So now let's go back to company. So now if you have a listing, okay, and you're trying to find out, well, since you don't know, maybe you have no knowledge what items or what disclosures are required on a typical checklist when it comes to a listing transaction. Well, guess what? Go through here. Okay, you have different checklists here. You could definitely look and see what are the items that you need or required for that type of listing you have on a file. Okay, so maybe you have a business opportunity or maybe a commercial industrial checklist right here, right? I'm sorry, yeah, a commercial listing right there. Maybe an SFR, a vacant land, a probate, a new home, a multi-unit, a listing checklist revised. Okay, and then so pretty much, so I'm gonna click on, which is very common, on a single family residence checklist right here. Okay, and I believe you guys can see this. If it's not, let me see for your search. Yeah. So right here, okay, this is the actual residential listing SFR checklist. And we know that SFR stands for what, Ramon?
Single family residence.
Exactly. Okay, so single family residence checklist. So now if you go here, okay, this is gonna give you the actual items that are required, okay, upon taking a listing contract, okay? So pretty much right here, the first one is gonna be your car form AD, okay? Now, Norma, please, are you there, Norma? Norma?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I was
Okay.
mute.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mia. So just go, Norma, since you're new to our business, and again, welcome to you, Norma, welcome to the family. Norma, when it comes to our contracts, Norma, just to let you know, everything is most likely used by acronyms, okay? So AD, FHDA, PRBS, WFA, RLA, but again, next to it, you have the actual definition, what each acronym or which form is, okay? So the AD stands for the disclosure regarding agency relationships. FHDA, Fair Housing and Discrimination Advisory. PRBS, possible representation of more than one buyer or seller, and so on and so on. Now, if you go through to the light, it's a listing checklist. Now, the R means it's required. Okay, it's required. That is a must. Now, if you go here to the other, to another one, here's the ABA, which is additional broker acknowledgement. If you go here, it says IA, if applicable. Okay, so it might not always apply, but again, if it applies, please make sure to get it for your listing contract. Okay, and the list goes on. The FERPTA, okay, there's another one also, if applicable, the ASA, additional signature addendum, and then for Norma, eventually we'll go through every single disclosure and contract, so you can know what each one stands for, or what is the purpose of each item for this and form as well. And then of course the AVID, the Berkshire Hathaway affiliated disclosures, harmless, sign up. If you're gonna cancel the listing, of course you need to have a manager approval, and so on and so on. Okay, so again, this is the best guide to help you guys again when it comes to taking the listing. Okay, so again, not all of them are required at the beginning, but yes, you will need them, okay, for a transaction once you take a listing. Okay, so keep that in mind. So again, for example, the lead base, okay, disclosure, any home that was built before 1978, it is actually required, but after 78, if applicable. So in this case, before 1978, it required. After 78, I'm sorry, 79 is no longer required. Okay, and so on and so on. So this is the where you want to come and see what items or disclosures are required on a residential listing SFR checklist. Okay, now this checklist is the same one that I have also on Skyslope as well. No, so this is for listing contracts, right? Now, if I want to go to a purchase checklist, okay, I click here, and now now my checklist has changed from listings to purchase checklist. So now I'm going to click on my residential SFR checklist right there. Okay, so now I'm going to open here as well. Okay, and now I'm going to see what's required once I have taken the listing, or maybe I didn't take a listing, but now guess what? I'm helping a buyer on their transaction. I need to know what is required for the buyer to sign and to present to when to submit an offer. Okay, So same thing here applies. The first one is going to be your agency disclosure, your PRBS, the wire fraud, the Fair Housing Discrimination Advisory, and so on, right? The RPA, the BIA, CCPA, and so on, right? So are required. And again, it falls under sales right there. Now, any applicable counter offers to the seller, to the buyer, if it applies, again, if applicable, and so on, okay? And here are your disclosures as well. So all these are your sales reports, right? Your sales actually disclosures. And then here are your disclosure statements, the documents, okay? And again, it goes, if it applies, on the first required, and so on right there. So now you don't have an excuse to say, well, Freddie, you know, I was not able to get a hold of you that day, that weekend, that evening, and I didn't know what form are required to submit an offer or to take a listing. Well, guess what? Come to your Skyslope, okay? So right here, it gives you everything, okay? What is required, what is needed, if it applies, yes or no, okay? Let me close this real fast and come back to my checklist. Okay. Now right here, you might say, well, you might also have a property for sale that you might have a listing, or you might have a buyer who's interested in buying a property. So for example, Carlos G. Garcia, my friend, if you have a buyer who wants to buy in Southgate, now, would you know on top of your head that the city of Southgate requires what is called a city pre-sale inspection report?
Yes.
You know, right? What about Azusa?
Yes.
You know the for a fact?
Yes.
Yes. So now, yes, and that's correct. So the city of Azusa and also the city of Southgate, they require what is called a city pre-sale inspection report. In other words, it's a point of sale is when the city has to go to the property and do their own inspection on the property. Now, why does the city go to the property? Because they want to make sure the property has not any illegal additions, any renovations, anything that was done without permits. Okay, that's why the city wants to go to those properties in those cities to inspect that the home has not done anything without permits. Now, if you don't know what cities required a point of sale or a city pre-sale inspection report, guess what? Click here, and it's going to give you the list of all the cities, okay, that are required from A through Z, okay? And again, this is only for the city, for the county of Los Angeles, okay? So right here, again, so Azusa has one, Bell has another one, Belvedere, Beverly Hills, Burbank, Carpinteria, Carson, Chico, Compton, Corte Madera, Cudahy, Culver City, Daly City, Delray Oaks, and again, and the list goes on. So again, folks, please do not get caught by surprise if on your checklist you see that I mark that you need to have a city pre-sale. Because again, a lot of you guys, if you're helping the buyer, okay, and then again, I don't blame you guys, but again, if you are helping the buyer, okay, for example, in Long Beach, okay, Long Beach does have one, but it's only the garage inspection report, okay. Last time, one of our agents in Downey, okay, was helping the buyer in Long Beach to buy a property, and guess what? They were not aware that the city of Long Beach required such a pre-sale inspection report. So he was upset at me and claiming, well, Freddie, and he told me, Freddie, this is not LA. I know it's not LA, but again, it's up to you guys to know, or even to come and look, or even call the city yourself to see, because again, the listing agent did not address any city pre-sale report. Again, the other agent, okay, did not know as well that the city of Long Beach required a garage inspection report. So neither our agent from Downey, who was helping the buyer, or the listing agent from a different brokerage was aware that Long Beach required a garage inspection report. So guess what? I called it out. They were mad at me because they said, Freddie, well, this is not LA. I know it's not LA. But again, if you look through the city of Long Beach, okay, website, it's stated there that every home that sells must be inspected by the city. Now, I know some cities, like for example, I know Linwood right now, even though Linwood does have one as well, but right now Linwood, to my knowledge, they're not conducting any city pre-sale reports at this moment because of COVID, okay? But eventually I know that's gonna get lifted, and then it's gonna go back to the norm where the city of Linwood will come back again to check those properties. Now, going back to the city of LA, okay, keep in mind that the city of LA, they have what is called a 9A residential property report. And this only applies for the city of LA. Now, keep in mind that the city of LA, okay, it's a big city. We know that. Now, also, city of LA, it falls under the county of Los Angeles City as well. Now, if the property that you're selling falls under the county of the city of Los Angeles, then this 9A report is not required, okay? But how can you find out if it is or not required? Well, again, you can always come here and call the number, or you can always contact your escrow officer, or just Google 9A report in the city of LA. And then most likely it's gonna give you a map, or you could search by the address of that city, of the property that is situated in the county or in the city of LA itself. So again, please, I encourage all of you guys, if you guys are helping buyers or taking listings, to please come and visit this checklist when it comes to the city pre-sale reports as well, okay? Keep that in mind. Okay, there's somebody in the chat box. Carlos is asking or saying the city of Linwood requires you as an agent to have a business license. Yes, Carlos. And also the city of Compton as well requires you to have a business license as well. So keep that in mind, okay? So a lot of things, again, you don't want to get fined or get penalized from the city for, again, in this case, like Linwood, okay? Now, we as brokers, okay, I'm sorry, we as the company, as broker, we do have our own license to the company, but you as an agent as well, since you are selling something in the city of Linwood, of Compton, you must obtain a business license. Now, I think those licenses cost you between what, $70, $100 more or less, Carlos. I think is that the last time I checked. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So again, so there you go, between $60 to $100. You got to go, and I think they're good for 1 year. Okay, so every year you got to renew your business license at that city. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Now, if you say, well, you might say, well, Freddy, they will never know. I'm sorry.
We don't get umbrellaed under the brokerage.
Some cities do, and some, like Inglewood does, and some cities don't allow. So some cities, yeah. Again, some cities require the broker and the agent to have their own licenses. Okay. Okay, so please keep that in mind, okay, folks? So always come here. Now, we also have a city of reports when it comes to the applications as well. Okay, Naomi says, actually, I buy one for Compton. Okay, yeah, so Naomi says she bought one. She bought her business license for Compton. Yes, and Freddy's, I'm sorry, Mark's asking, Freddy, do you have a pre-sale inspection report? Freddy, do you have a pre-sale inspection for the city that requires, for which one, Martin? The list, or which one you're talking about? Martin is asking me for what city you're asking for, Martin. That do you must? Yes, you need to definitely, you gotta inspect the city. Must, again, you definitely gotta check if the city does require the city pre-sale report. Is that your question? You have, yes, you have to actually get, if a city, okay, so I'm thinking you're asking me if the city requires a city pre-sale inspection report. Yes, you must do it, right? Yes, you definitely gotta take care of that from the city.
You can't waive it.
You cannot waive it. No, yes, you cannot waive it. Now, the seller cannot waive it. Okay, now the buyer can waive it. Okay, the buyer can waive it. Now, what happens if the buyer waives the city pre-sale report? Okay, now, let me give you an example, Martin. Okay, so if you have a listing in Compton, for example, okay, and you know it's a must that the city must come to the property to inspect the property prior to close of escrow. Okay, now, if the city itself finds any unpermitted items, renovations, additions, or anything to the property that was not done without proper permits, now the buyer can take the full responsibility, okay? And they gotta go to the city, and most likely they gotta sign a waiver, and also has to be notarized as well. I know Southgate is pretty strict when it comes to that, okay? So they gotta sign a waiver that once they take possession of this property, once they are the legal owners at the Crystal Escrow, I believe they have 45 days to present back to the city of Compton or Southgate that will take action. And I believe the city gives them either 90 days to 6 months to take action and to bring the property up to code and to get permits on the property that were not permitted at one point. So now, if they don't comply, most likely they will get fined and penalized as well. That's to my knowledge. But again, now you might ask, well, Freddy, actually the seller doesn't want to do it, nor the buyer wants to do it as well. What can we do if the seller doesn't want to do it? Again, keep them. We cannot push them, okay? But we definitely gotta encourage them to do it, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, if they're adamant, they don't want to do it, they're holding to their guns, and they say no, we don't care. Okay, then again, then you let me know, please, because we gotta now get something in writing from them as well, and notarized as well, saying that they have refused to provide and to disclose to the buyer the city presale report that is required by the city to the buyer. Okay, so if that happens, please come see me. Okay, because we do have something in writing from our attorneys that in case they decline or they deny to for them to perform the point of sale from the city of Compton or Southgate or any of the city as well.
Freddie.
Yes, Martin.
So, I've closed deals like these, and like you said, we can't push them. But in reality, I mean, sometimes a pre-inspection can kill your deal because of the work. It needs to be required if it's FHA. If it's a conventional or harmony, that's not a problem, right?
Right.
So it's a requirement, but it's not demanded you have to do it 100%. True?
Well,
according to the buyers and the sellers, it's up to them, basically.
Okay, well, let me give you the point of from our company, from our brokerage. It's required, Martin. It is required. Now, if you've done your work, Martin, again, you tried, again, you talk to the seller, look, there are consequences that this could lead up to. And you say, Martin, I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna pay for it. If you want, again, please don't ask me no more. Okay, fine then. Then, and we need you to sign this waiver that you are not going to disclose, and you're not going to come back to us to sue us for any legal matters, for any legalities like that. Because again, we want to make sure that you, Martin, are covered, and our brokerage is also covered. Because again, your job as an agent is to make sure that everything has been disclosed to both parties. Correct? So in this case, if the seller doesn't want to do it, then you okay, fine then. We cannot push you. We cannot, enforce it to you. But again, but we need this to get signed and notarized from you as well. Because again, if the buyer does come back to you and tries to sue you, you cannot come sue us because we didn't disclose to you or we didn't ask you to do it to follow the actual protocol that is required from our company. Okay. So going back to the cities, now right here, it gives you the actual, also the cities that are required when it comes to the actual checklist as well. Rafa, I think you have raised your hand. Yes, Rafa.
Who's the responsible who does the the city inspection reports? Does the agents or who does that?
You gotta send your seller to the city because they gotta go pay and they gotta actually take care of it. Yes, Rafael. Okay. Now, keep in mind, you have a lot of sellers for Freddy. You must say, hey, Rafa, actually, I'm working. Can you please go on my behalf? No. Take a day off. Have come during your lunchtime or go in late. But again, this is your property. You definitely got to go and take care of yourself. Okay. Okay. So again, going back to the cities here, again, you go contact the city of Bell, and it gives you an idea where to look at the cityofbell.org, how much it costs more or less, required Arcadian. And again, this list goes on. Okay. And so on right there. Okay. Now, same thing with applications and so on. Now, we also have a W-9, okay? Some brokers, okay, also require or ask you to provide a W-9 from the company. And here it is. This is the most up-to-date current W-9 from our brokerage, okay? Has the latest corporate name, address. This is our tax ID number as well. signed by Dennis Rosas, our president, okay, back in June 11th of 2021. So this is still a good W-9 to provide to any broker that's required or is asking you for a W-9 for the tax purposes. Okay, so now you have no excuse, okay, where to come and check for any checklists for listings, disclosures, okay, and so on and so on, okay? So let's go back home. Okay, so now let's go ahead and actually work on a listing transaction. So let's say you have a listing contract now, right? You took a listing, and I put this to you guys, okay? Any listings you guys take, okay, the listing must be uploaded 2 days from the beginning date, okay? So if your beginning date of the contract begins, for example, on Thursday, April 21st, then you definitely gotta make sure to upload your documents, your listing contract disclosures onto Skyslope. So now, how do we create a listing on Skyslope? Okay, let me show you how to do a listing on Skyslope. So first things first, we want to go here, create a listing right there. Okay, from here, okay, it's gonna give you, it's gonna ask you a lot of questions, okay, about your listing. It says, hi, I'm Sky, your listing file assistant. Let's get your listing file submitted to your brokerage. It only take a moment. Okay, so again, if you're ready, enter the listing. If you're not ready, you can always go back. Okay, but again, we are ready to upload the listing. Okay, so right here, enter listing right there. Now you could definitely you could definitely search by forms. You have it on your Skyslope, or you can look at it by the address. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna look at it by the address. So I'm gonna put our company office address right here, 9836 Atlantic. Now, keep in mind, it is powered by Google. Okay, so any address that you're surrounded or you're nearby, for in this case, I'm in nearby Southgate, it's gonna populate automatically. Okay, the city, the state, and the street as well. Okay, so 9836 Atlantic right there. There it is. Okay, any units? No. So let's go, right? We can also do it manually as well if you want to. Now, if Google did not pick it up, it's because most likely that property address does not exist or is not available on Google Maps. But if it is, then punch it in again. And here it is. Okay, let's go. So now, what type of listing is this? Okay, so if you notice here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 checklists. Okay, when it comes to your own Skyslope checklist. Okay, you have commercial, residential lease, home listing. Okay, this is our new home listing, commercial listing, probate, our residential income property, 1 to 4 units, our area commercial sales listing, a vacant land, a business opportunity, a short sale, manufactured sale, or a residential listing SFR. So in this case, it's going to be, let's pretend our business is a SFR, right? Right there. Next question right there. How much is a property listed for? Well, in this case, it's going to go for $599, $900, right? Next question. Okay. Now, what's going to be the actual commission, right? What is the listing commission and the sales commissions, right? So how much are you paying yourself and how much are you paying the other cooperating broker? In this case, you guys know me by now. Again, I always charge 6%. I keep 4 and I give 2, right? That's how it is. And that's how I roll. 6%, I keep 4 and I give 2, right? Any other co-listing agents? If it is, no. Yes, Carlos, you have a question, Carlos?
If it's an in-house agent, will you split it in half?
Of course. Just make sure to send me a CBC.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Of course, of course. Next question. So right here. Now, when is the actual listing date? So this is going to be Thursday, the 21st, and expires 6 months from today's date. So it's going to be take us all to what? To the October, right? 30th, actually 31st, on Halloween Day. Right there. Okay. So 6 months from the 21st, right? Next question. Now, what year was this property built? Well, in this case, it was built in 1949. Next question. Now, what's the source of this deal? How did you obtain this listing, right? Well, there's a drop-down menu. Was it through a sign, advertisement, open house, personal referral, corporate referral, prospecting, previous customer, REO account, new home account, farming, duty desk, MLS, office lead, SOI, expired withdrawn, social marketing, direct mail, floor time, door knocking, relocation department, drip marketing, call capture, website, home parts of America. And now that I'm going through this, Eddie, you have a listing, right, Eddie? Can't hear you, brother.
Yes, yes, I do.
Is it in Skyslope already?
It's in right now. I'm doing it at the same time you're doing it.
Okay, because I know you took this listing last week, man. Can't hear you. You still muted.
I had it signed on Friday.
Okay, so it's every Tuesday.
No, the weekend doesn't count, so it's Tuesday.
It does count. So there you go. So this one is going to be actually personal referral. So now it's asking for, okay, lastly, who's selling the property? And this is going to be what? Sally, that girl, right? Seller. Right now, you have more than one seller, right? Add additional sellers right there, right? Sal, seller. Now, in case your seller is a company, right? You guys could definitely put the company name as well right there. Okay, guys? But right now we have 2 sellers right now, okay? Additional sellers, continue, keep going. If it's not, just click the X to close those. So right now we have only 2 sellers right now. Okay, next question, okay? Now, if you want to order the NHG right now, you could go ahead and do it right now if you want to. If you don't, then leave it alone and skip it. Okay, no thanks, Sky. And if you have the who's going to be your escrow company, if you don't, you could always also skip it as well. I do not want to open a escrow or pre-open escrow right there. And there, and go ahead. Does everything look right? Property address, sales price, listing period. It starts, it ends. The commission to yourself, to the brokerage, who's the seller, built by when, and then the source. And then again here, create my listing right there. And there it is. So now it's going to give me my checklist, right? For the what? For my transaction on the listing side. Okay. Now everything in red is a must. Anything in blue is if applicable. Okay. So I know for a fact right now, okay, once I take my listing, right, I definitely got to upload my disclosure, my residential listing contract, my seller's advisory, my CCPA, my Consumer Privacy Act, right, my home harmless, my DIA, my MLS active or coming soon, right, and then my CMA, my property profile with grant deeds and plot map, and a seller's net sheet as well. Okay, so I need all that to be uploaded now. So how do I upload these documents into my Skyslope? How do I go about doing that? Well, there are 3 ways to do so. The first way, okay, you go to it here, but this is the hardest way to do it when you attach forms one by one, and that's the hardest way. So you definitely you don't want to do one by one. Okay, you want to go to your documents, which is the fastest and easiest way to upload, and then split and assign. Okay, now if you also notice here, okay, you also have another address, your other email address for this property alone. Now, why does Skyslope create a property address or an actually email address for this property? Because now also when you send an email to this address, right, guess what? All your documents, okay, will show up here as well. So they will come here on this documents tab right here. Okay, so now let me go ahead and upload my documents right here. Okay, so you notice here you have different tabs: assign, unassign, fax cover, share docs, moves white out. Okay, did you sign, email, or upload documents? So I want to go ahead and upload my documents that are required based on my checklist. Okay, now, okay, now So keep in mind your checklist is for what? Is for a residential leasing agreement, right? But let me go back to my listing here. Okay, now let's pretend. Okay, let's play here that, for example, okay, your type of checklist is a residential leasing SFR, right? But maybe on the, because we were so hairy, we didn't caught it, we didn't catch it on time. We actually uploaded an actual checklist for what? For a multi-unit property. Okay, so this is a checklist for multi-unit property. Okay, so if you think you messed up, okay, by a mistake, okay, please don't start all over and create a new transaction or new listing contract. Okay, the best way, just go back to your listing right here, go here, and then modify here, go to type, and click the correct one right there. Okay, and then hit next. And if you go back to your checklist, now you see that the checklist has been modified back to the residential leasing agreement. Now, if for whatever given reason, you already have uploaded all your documents and you notice you had the wrong checklist and you go back and change it, guess what? All those documents that you have uploaded will be off. They'll go back to your documents and you're gonna start all over to upload them. Okay, so let's go to upload our documents right here. Okay, so right here, I want to upload a document right there, and it's gonna open another window. Okay, and I'm gonna look for my actual folders. Okay, so I'll have my right here, my residential leasing agreement right there. Okay, click here, and I'd open, and here it is. Okay, and here's my leasing contract right there. Now that I uploaded my leasing contract right there, okay, you notice this little eyeball, okay, it's just to preview what's inside this PDF. If you hover your mouse on top of it, it's gonna open your PDF, all right there. So here's all your documents that I have on my leasing contract right there, okay. Make sure it's all there. Yes, it is, right? Now you can click the little X right there and close it, okay. Now you can also click on the little PDF here to open it big as well. Okay, to open it big size right there as a PDF. Okay, and it's all there, right? So it's all here, right? Close it again, go back to your Skyslope. So now, if you notice here, the views have changed from 0 to 2 because again, I did preview and then click here to preview the actual PDF, the entire big page, right? So the more previews you create here or look at, these views numbers will change 3, 4, and so on and so on. Okay, and also it's going to tell you when was it uploaded to your system right there. Okay, the time and date. Right now, can you say, well, Freddy, I uploaded something by mistake that it shouldn't be there. Can I trash? Yes, you can trash it. Click here, okay, and then click trash. Actually, move to trash right here. And there it is. Now, keep in mind this trash is not an actual trash can. It's just another folder to put stuff away. But you can always come back and retrieve it if you want to. So click here again and go to move and go to main documents. But again, your trash can is not a trash can like your computer that when you click it here, it's gonna get deleted forever. It doesn't happen like that. So anything does not get deleted forever. It just goes to your folder right there. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to split and assign. So I'm gonna click here to split, okay. And now it's gonna open another page right there. So my first page that I have here, remember, we have 14 pages on this PDF document. Okay, we have 14 pages. So the first one is, remember these acronyms right there on top? This is gonna be your AD, okay? Or the disclosure regarding real estate relationship right there. So I'm gonna click here by the acronym, okay? AD right there. And here it is, AD right there, here it is. So make sure you put the right one, sellers right there, okay? Click here. And now how many pages that belong to this agency disclosure was going to be 1 and 2 right there. See, pages 1 of 2 right there. So 1 of 2 right there. So now from here, because page 3 is a different disclosure now. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go to, it starts from page 1 and then ends on page 2 right there. Now page 3, what is page 3? Right here, page 3 right there. And this is going to be my fair housing discrimination advisory, car form FHDA, right? And again, FHDA. Now, if it doesn't show up, why is that? Now, let me tell you why it doesn't show up on your checklist. Because right now it's not required. Okay. Now, why is that? Now, to give you a little hint, anything that it needs to be signed by both parties is not going to populate on your listing checklist. Why is that? Because again, I don't want you guys to have duplicates disclosures on your transaction. That's why. So you save this for later. Okay. So if it doesn't come up here, it's because it needs both parties to be signed on this disclosure. So you go ahead and skip this form. Okay, skip it. Same thing goes with the PRBS. Okay, if it needs both parties, guess what? If you're trying to search it up, it's not there. Okay, or possible, it's not here. Okay, because again, I don't want you guys to have duplicate forms on your listing contract, and then again on your escrow contract as well. Next one, wire fraud, same thing. It won't be there. Now let's go to, now this one most likely it only has signatures from the seller and yourself. Okay, car form RLA. So if I go here, RLA, and there it is. Okay, now what page is this one? Is page 7, right? Page 7. Then how many pages are here? Up to 5 pages. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So it ends on 11, because if we go to 12, it's a different form now. So this is page 5 of 5, and it ends on 11. So it started on page 7, right? And it ends on page 11, right there. Okay. Next pages is sales advisory, car form SA, right there. Here it is. Okay. It starts on page 12, and then ends on page what? 13, right? So 12 through 13 right there. And then the last one, CCPA, only one page, right? Sellers right there. Okay. And that's page 14 right there. CCPA. And that's it, to the sellers right there. You can go click here, cancel that right there. Now, once you're okay with that, right? Now, if you need to add more rows, you can always add more rows if you want to. Okay. I believe you can add up to 10 rows as well. Okay. But if you don't, then go ahead and click the X and delete. Now, once we got that out of the way, you want to come here, down here, and you want to hit split and assign right there. Let it go through the motions. Okay, nice job. You split 4 documents and 4 were attached to your checklist. Now you want to go to your checklist, or you want to go back to your documents? I want to go to my checklist right here. Okay, I want to go see. So pretty much everything that I have already uploaded and split and assigned is going to go under in review. So what does that mean in review? It means that me, your manager, Freddy Gamboa, will go through your files under Skyslope and review that you officially have attached and assigned and uploaded the correct form, the correct disclosure, report, or disclosure, right? On the right category when it comes to your checklist on Skyslope. Now, if you also want to confirm as well, you can always click on the little paperclip here. Okay. And it's going to open another page where it's going to give you the actual form that you uploaded automatically. So here it is. Okay. I did it right, right? So once it's done, it's going to be, it turns green that it's being reviewed by me. Okay. So let me go back here. Okay. If you did it wrong, okay, you go click here and delete this little disclosure or report. Okay, click the X to delete that that attachment, remove it, yes. Now, and it goes back to required, okay? It goes back to required. So I go back to my documents. Now I have seen, okay, when you go, now, before you go back to your checklist, now if you notice here, everything that I split and assign, automatically, it does it here as well, okay? It does its own category as well, okay? Based what you have assigned it to, okay? So let me go back to my listing contract right here, which is the original PDF that I downloaded here, okay? Now, if for whatever any given reason, okay, you want to split and assign, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and split again, go here again, split and assign. If for whatever given reason, okay, you have to upload your AD right there, and you go to page 1, page 2, page 3, okay, and by mistake you probably uploaded 3 pages, and you upload it here, right? So you split it to your agency right there. Go to your checklist. Now it's under review, right? If you open here your Skyslope, now you notice that I uploaded 3 pages that I was not supposed to, okay? I uploaded the 2 correct ones, but then I added another one, okay? Which was not supposed to be here on this category, okay? So what's gonna happen there? Well, guess what, folks? I'm gonna make a note to please remove the form that does not belong on this category, okay? I'll make my little comments right here to remove it. Now, it's up to you guys to come back, delete the old one, delete it, okay? And then go back to your checklist and then delete the proper form once again. Okay, so again, go back to your, either again here, split and assign, okay? And go back to your agency right there. And then make sure to get the correct pages that are required. So pages 1 and 2, 1 and 2 right there, and close that. And then again, split and assign. Go to my checklist, and now that I have it here, now I have the 2 forms or that are required, or the proper forms that are to be in the category. Okay, that's how it is. Now, what else do I need for my checklist? Well, again, I still need the home harmless. I need to upload my actual MLS active or coming soon printout, my CMA, my property profile, and my seller's net sheet. And that's it. And that's it for that, okay? Now, let's say, for example, now here, okay, let me go back here, back to my home page. Okay, now let's say you have uploaded all your documents and it looks good, right? It's fine. Okay, you will get an email, okay, from me that either you're missing, you're done, you're okay, continue, right? So now you have an offer on your listing, okay? Now, a lot of you guys know how to do it, and also a lot of you guys don't know how to do an offer for your listing, okay? When you get an offer accepted on your own listing, please do not, again, please do not come here to create another transaction, okay? Again, I want to repeat myself. If you have a listing contract, okay, and you get an offer for that listing, okay, do not come and create a new transaction. This tab or this icon to create a transaction is only when you are helping a buyer only. Again, let me repeat myself. This little tab, okay, the create transaction tab is only when you are helping a buyer on an offer only, okay? Because a lot of you guys have a listing and then you have an offer on your own listing, okay? And then you create another transaction. Now, guess what happens? Now you have a listing and an escrow open on the same transaction, on the same escrow, on the same property. That doesn't work, okay? So in this case, this is only for your own buyer, okay? Now, if you have an outside buyer, okay, from a different on your listing, or you even the same buyer on your own listing, you gotta go manage listings here, and you gotta come here, go to your listing right there, go to your property right there, go to your checklist, okay? And then you wanna go here, accepted contract right there, okay? Accept the contract. This is when you have accepted a contract, an offer on the listing you have for sale. Okay, this is a button you gotta select when you accepted an offer on your listing you have for sale. Okay, so from here, now it's gonna give you what? An incomplete folder, an incomplete file. Why is that? Well, why do you have incomplete? Because now you're saying to Skyslope, look, I have a buyer on my listing that wants to buy my listing. Okay, great. Well, now you gotta select the checklist for that. Okay, and now make sure to get the right one. Well, this is gonna be a what? A residential purchase SFR, right there, right there. Okay. Now by now you should have an MLS number as well. Make sure to get it there. The sales price, well, it was $6,599. We won $625,000, right? How was this lead? How'd you get it? No office lead, right? Acceptance date, right? Well, it was again the 22nd. Let's play, the day after, right? And when MLS status, is it pending, backup offers, or so on? Right now, it's actually maybe other or pending. And then when is the close of escrow? Most likely it's going to be happening a month from today, right? So let's say maybe March 31st. The escrow number maybe could be right there. The APN, if you know it, please put it there. Okay, and so on. And then you want to go hit next right there. Oh, okay. Hit next right there. Now it's going to ask you, okay, to make sure that everything's okay. Again, your seller's information, it's okay. The buyer's name, okay, in this case, it's going to be Bob Buyer. Okay, and make sure, okay, when you put the first and last name, put them where they belong. Okay, I seen that also this done in the past. Okay, no, sorry. Okay, first name goes here, last name goes over here. Okay, please make a note of that, folks. Okay, first name, last name. Hit save. And then title. Okay, first thing is going to be the title company right there. Who's the title company? OCT. I'm sorry. The escrow officer. In this case, is Sonia Apodaca, which is our title rep for Southgate, or Christy Rye in Downey. Right? Their phone number. Okay, title company, OCT, and of course, Sonia at OCT.com, right? Any notes right there, and then continue to go to the bottom. Okay, do not hit save and continue going to the bottom, right? Who's the company? Well, in our case, it's going to be Stacy Hardacre, and down is going to be Eva Soriano, okay? Or whoever you guys use for your escrow company, okay, as well. And then Stacy. Okay, right there. Any notes? Hit save. We all know that in California, we don't use attorneys, so this doesn't apply to us. Okay, you're okay with that, and hit save. And then hit next right there. Okay, now who's okay, it's a question, okay. Oh,
I have an observation, Freddy.
yes, Apodaca, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Apodaca, thank you. Okay, now since it's asking you who's gonna represent the other side, okay, in this case is gonna be their agents, okay, so in this case is gonna be, let's see, Mr. John Doe. Okay, their phone number right there. Their brokerage company, ABC Realty, right? And their right, and so on right there. Any notes? Hit save. You guys will put the lenders if you want to, the lender, warranty, miscellaneous, and so on. Okay. Once you're done with that, then we want to go actually hit submit right there. Okay. And now here comes the fun part. Okay. Do you want to open escrow or just hit submit? I want to just hit submit. Okay. But before you hit submit, make sure you're paying 4% to yourself and 2% to the cooperating broker. Any other deductions, deposits, referral details, any other comments you want to add as well, okay? And so on and so on, okay? If there's none, hit submit. And now your checklist got bigger because now you have a resident, now you have a listing type and a residential purchase, right? And so on, right? So if you notice here, this checklist got bigger, right? Before we had an offer accepted, okay? From here and down, right? It was only our checklist for the listing contract side, right? But now that we had an offer accepted, now from listing documentation and up, it applies to the escrow transaction, right? And again, anything in red is required, right? Now, when was the house built? 1949, right? So now you always come back to your checklist and make sure, right? What is required? So Rafa, I'm gonna pick on you, Rafa, since you open your mouth, and thank you for helping me with the last names. Rafa. Okay, so the house was built in 1949, Rafa, right? Okay, I'm gonna scroll down to your checklist, Rafa. And I believe by now, Rafa, you should know that any disclosure, like for example, the lead base, okay? If you go to your lead base here, right there, what does it say, Rafa, right there?
Pre-1978.
So what does that mean, Rafa, to you?
That you have to put a lead-based paint disclosure.
So in this case, it is applicable, correct?
Yes.
Okay, hold on, Rafa, do not mute. Continue with me, Rafa. Don't say. Okay, now, so this one, it does apply, even though it's actually blue, but again, now it's your job to make sure it does apply, okay? Now let's go down to the residential earthquake disclosure. Rafa, again, help me with this.
Pre-1960.
So in this case, what, Rafa? Required?
You have to get it. It's required.
It is required. Thank you, Rafa, for your help, for your volunteering. So yes, so we have 2 disclosures that are required. Now, keep in mind that anything else might be applicable and might not be, it might be, okay? Depending on your transaction, okay? Now, not everything will apply, but again, if it does apply, maybe it is a trust advisor, it is a trust sale, then again, it applies. Maybe it's tenant occupied, it applies. Tenant stop-loss, it applies, right? And so on, okay? So now let's go, now we got an offer, right? Now I'm gonna actually email this, I'm gonna email the offer to here, to this email address, right? So I'm gonna click here. Now you guys, let me show you, okay? Right there, okay? So most likely you get offers via email, right? PDFs and so on. So now how do we, I'm gonna, instead of uploading the offer through Skyslope through my computer, I'm gonna send it to this email right here, okay? So I'm gonna go attach it. I'm gonna browse through my computer. Browse, training right there. And here's my new offer right there, RPA new sample right there. I have inserted right there. And then keep in mind, no need to put any verbiage, okay? Because nobody can read it. But again, it needs to be done on a PDF format, okay? From here, hit send. Yes, send it. Okay, now that I have sent it, right? It's gonna come here to your documents. Remember I told you? Now the RPA, it should be here shortly, okay? Hasn't come in yet. Let's refresh. Nothing yet. Okay, nothing yet. There it is. See right there? You guys see it right there? Now it came here. See that right there, folks? Rafa, you see it? Right? It's already there. So I emailed it. Now it's here, right? So now I could definitely click in here and preview it, right? It's all there, right? Yeah, it's all here. Okay, now that it's here, right? Now I'm gonna what? I have to not do a split and assign right there. Okay. So how many pages do I have for my offer? I have 25 pages right here. Wow. A lot of pages right here, right? So the first one, right, is the agency disclosure. Again, AD. And now right here, if you notice here, it says sellers right there, right? It says sellers. It's not that one, right? I'm not gonna put it there, right? I'm gonna look for the one that says buyers. See right there? Buyers. Okay. So this is page 1 of 2 right there, right? Next one. What's next? My fair housing. Now it should be here on the fair housing, FHDA. And there it is, folks. Now it's here, right? How many pages is this? Page 3 is on page 3, and it ends on page 4, right? Yes. Page 3 and 4 right there. Okay, next one, PRBS. There it is. And it starts on page 5 from here, and then it's on page 5. So this is page 1, page 5 of 5. So that's fine right there. Next one is a wire fraud. Right? And wire fraud, it starts on page 6, and then ends on page, same thing, page 6 of 6. Okay, nothing further. Now here comes the fun part, the offer, the RPA. It starts on page 11, right?
Yeah.
No, page 7, right? Page 7 right there, right? And then it ends on what? Continue going down the RPA. It's 16 pages. Thank you, Eva. Continue going down the list. Continue. Continue. 16, 12, my goodness. Good. And there it is, the last page. And Eva, where did I finish, Eva?
16.
No, right here.
Oh, 25.
No,
No, 22.
22.
22, exactly. So it started on page 7, right? And it ended on page 22, right?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Great. Now, what's the next page? BIA. Please take a message. Thank you. Okay, BIA. How many pages of BIA? Is 2
Just
pages?
one.
No, 2 pages even right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it starts on page 23,
2.
and then it ends on page 24,
24.
right?
23, 24. Yes.
And the last one is going to be my what? My CCPA, right?
25.
And then again, don't put it here. Where does it go? Right here, right? And page 25 of 25, correct?
Which one? Yeah,
One
25.
page, right? So please, folks, again, when you guys are doing your splits and assign, please be very careful, okay? Because again, sometimes it's so easily to add another page. For example, you could go again all the way to 25 in this case, right? And then you add the CCP under the BIA. And if that happens, again, I will call you to remove it and please upload it once again. So you gotta be very careful when you always go here. Make sure where it ends. Okay. Now we're done with that. We want to split and assign. Okay, nice job. I did 7 and 7 docs were. Now I could go to my checklist, or I could go back to my docs. I'm gonna go back to my docs this time instead of going to my checklist. So if I go back to my docs, everything that I have split and assign for that offer, it's already here as well. See that? Here's my offer, right? My original offer, right? Correct? And everything that I had split and assigned, if I click here, it's only the 2 pages of the agency right there, right? That's it. So now if I go, I'm done here. I'm gonna go back to my checklist up here, right? And here's all my items that are under review, right? Now you might also get a counter offer, right? Now, like Carlos saying, would I split my commission with an in-house agent? Yes, but make sure to send me a what? A CBC. So and so on, it goes right there. So and so on and forth, and then anything else that comes your way, disclosures from the other party, the other agent, upload them here as well. Okay. So any questions so far when you have a listing and when you can offer on your own listing. Let me pause real fast. Let me come back to you guys. Stop sharing. So I want you guys to please open your mics. Any questions you guys have, again, when you have your own listing and you take an offer on your listing, is that pretty much self-explanatory? Or did I go too fast, too slow? Are you guys with me?
Pretty good.
Yes?
It's like an application. When you're uploading it, it guides you.
It does. Okay. So I show you guys how to, again, upload an offer accepted on your own listing. Now, what if you don't have a listing, but you have a buyer, right? How do we do that? How do we put that into Skyslope? Well, now
New
let me show you.
transaction.
Exactly,
New
Eva.
transaction.
Create a transaction. Yes, Eva, and that's correct. So let me go back to my sharing on the Skyslope, okay? So now I'm done here, right, Eva? So I'm done here. I'll go back to my homepage right there, correct? So now we got to do what, Eva?
Create a transaction.
Exactly. Now, Frida, yes. Again,
Yes.
right here is when you don't have a listing contract or you don't have a separate
Exactly.
contract, right? This is to create
Yes.
a new transaction from scratch, right?
Right.
So now right here, we're gonna do another one. I'm gonna random them. Now in this case, I'm gonna use that one in Downey office. Okay. And again, it's I found it right there. So now, of course, you know the MLS number, right? And any other agent sales price, let's go ahead and 599, 625 again,
625.
right? The source, how'd you get it, Eva? Well, person referral, again,
Right.
office lead, no. Acceptance date, today's date, right there.
Mhm.
Checklist, again, and I really show you guys, if you got, like, you know, you're going too happy, it's okay, like, again, you guys made it, you guys didn't see that, but we continue with that. Okay, what type of representation is it? Is it a purchase, listing, both? Okay, and in this case, it's gonna be a purchase tenant, right? A purchase buyer, right? Year built, 1949, of the escrow number, of course, and the APN, the closing date, a month from today, right? And hit next. Okay, now we have an incomplete file right there, right? Now, of course, you should know who are the sellers because most likely you have an offer accepted, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So, of course, it's going to be Sally's seller, right? Eva?
Yes.
Seller, right? And of course, that's it for that. Hit save. Your buyer, you know your buyer's name, Bob Buyer,
Bye-bye.
right? And again, your phone number. Right there, hit save. And of course, most likely you already have an escrow open, right? And this is going to be a ABC escrow. I'm sorry, Stacy, you know, just pretend to be Stacy or Hardacre. So you know what? I apologize. Again, I went too fast. This is title. This is title, okay?
Oh,
This is title. So yes.
Sonia.
Sonia Podaka.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And again, Sonia at ostc.com. Okay, that goes over here. And OCT. And then hit save right there. And then of course, escrow company at the bottom right there. Now, so as we know, it's going to be Stacy Hardacre. And then her phone number.
Ready?
Yes.
I have another observation too. You put OTC instead of OCT.
I'm going crazy here. Thank you, Rafa. A ver, pues let me fix it. I'm going crazy. OCT, yeah.
Edit.
We got to go back to edit here. Edit here. Edit. So yeah, if you make a mistake, thank you for that, Mr. Rafa. OCT. There you go. Orange Coast title. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you guys come back and edit. Okay, thank you. All right, let's see. And then of course, Castlehead. And then again, Stacy at There we go. We're done with that. Okay, and then of course, who's opening the other side, right? That's the other. This is the listing agent side, right? Larry Lister. And of course, ABC brokerage. And then Larry at ABC. Okay, we're done with that. Okay, we got all checked off. Good, good. Okay, now we go to submit. Right there. And I can submit right there. Oh, before we submit, we cannot proceed. We get to know how much we're getting paid, right? How much we're getting paid?
4.
4%. Okay, he was getting 3%. Nice. I like that. Good job. Good for you, Eva.
That's what you say.
No, I said 3%. Okay, right there. Now we gotta submit. Okay, right there. Now here's my checklist. Only now if I scroll down, this checklist only is for an escrow transaction. You won't see nothing for this inside. See, there's nothing on the list side. Only for escrow transaction, right?
Mhm.
And again, you go send to your right there to the actual email address or what? Or go to documents, right?
Documents.
So now we're gonna go to documents, right?
Yes.
So nothing here. We go to upload here. Right there. Right there. Let it upload. And there it is. Right there. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Split.
I want to split and assign. Okay. And I also have seen this. Okay, folks. And again, I seen this one from you guys that you guys do this to me. That's strange. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. The RPA doesn't show up. You notice here, I'm looking for the RPA. It's not here because I did what? I put the income purchase agreement, right? Now, let me show you what happens when you guys do that, okay? So I'm gonna upload my 7-22, right? Just to have some fun with you guys. Okay. So if you guys think you did it right, which you guys didn't, right? Of course, right here, you notice, wait a minute. I call you guys, wait, this is a SFR, a single family residence, and you guys upload it to your what? To your income
Union.
property.
Yes.
So now
Yes.
this checklist is incorrect, right, Eva?
Right.
Okay, so now your job, right, is to go back to your transaction, come back to your checklist, and put the right checklist now.
Checklist.
Change
No,
checklist,
you put,
yes.
Residential.
Residential, check, yeah, change it again. Hit next. Now, if we go back to my checklist now here, look at that. Now everything goes away now. I gotta start all over. Imagine.
Yeah,
So imagine you guys did all the work on the wrong checklist. You guys have to start all over again.
Right.
Okay, so please be careful. Okay, so again, do not go back and create a new transaction. Just go back to the to here and change the checklist type. So now we could definitely come back here. See, that's wrong. So in this one, you could go here and move to trash. Right? So now we go back to our right here. Now, okay, so Christy has to leave. Okay, Christy, don't worry. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Okay, right there. So what I have seen with you guys, that you guys also are nice to me. Okay, what's up? Okay, there you go. Split and assign. I have seen this in the past. Okay, you guys go to the RPA. There it is, my RPA right there, and you guys go happy crazy and upload the entire document, disclosures, RPA under the purchase contract. So everything it's here under the offer. Eva, is that good, Eva, or is that bad?
It's good.
No, Eva, because everything was uploaded into your offer and not under the proper category.
Oh, which is bad.
Which is bad. So I'm going to tell you, Eva, I'm sorry, remove the rest of the disclosures and put them where they belong on the right category.
Okay.
Okay. So now Eva has to go back to your checklist, your document,
Go to documents
and go again here.
and
Split and assign again, right? RPA. Well, okay, let's start from the beginning now. Okay, agency right there. Buyers, 1 of 1. No, it's 1 of 2. Right? And then for housing, FHDA. And it's going to be page 3 of 4, right, Eva?
3 or 4.
Yes, because it ends on 4.
Yes.
PRBS is only 1 page.
606. No, 505.
5 of 5, exactly. 5 of 5.
Yes. Mhm.
And the wire fraud, Eva? Did you help
Yes,
me?
606.
No, yes, 6 of 6. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
RPA, it's already there. You got to add it again. Okay. And we know 7 of 22, right?
To 22, 11
Yes.
page, right?
Right there. And then the BIA, Eva?
1, 23, 23.
23, 23. No, Eva?
No, so it is 2, so 23 to 24.
Exactly. See? You gotta be careful. You gotta be
Yes.
careful, guys. And the last one,
Yes.
Eva?
The last one is 1, which is 25 to 25.
Exactly. Yes, very good, Eva. Now we gotta split and assign now. Good job. Thank you, Eva, for help. For your. Okay, now we go back to your checklist, right?
It's-
And we know
right.
that we have here on your RPA. Now, if you notice here, okay, dealer X has disappeared. Why is that? Let me tell you why, okay? When you have more than one document under the paperclip, the X disappears. When you only have one document attached to this, the X is there. So you could delete it
Okay.
automatically, okay?
Okay.
But when
okay.
it disappears, you gotta click on the paperclip, okay? And then another window is gonna open. Okay, see right there? Disappears now right here. You go click hit the views. Now, you know, this is, yeah, Freddy doesn't want this one. So now I gotta what? I have to delete it.
Add. Uh-huh.
Okay, so this one, now I click the little X right there. Right, delete the X. Because that's the one that Freddy didn't want because he has so many pages on that one. Click on the other one. Now this is the correct one that I redid all over again.
Mm.
Right there, yes? And that was a good offer. Yeah, right
Mhm.
there, yes? Perfect,
Yes.
okay. And now everything's good, right? Now, keep in mind, okay, in case, let's say you're working with another outside agent, and the other agent, okay, for example, on the Avids, okay, the Avid, let me watch my Avids, alphabetized, and keep in mind, all your disclosures are alphabetized, okay. So when it comes to the Avid, Eva, okay, Eva,
Okay.
okay, you get a stubborn agent like Carlos Garcia that they don't want to do their Avids. Okay, so you, Eva, you send an email to Carlos, right? Hey, Carlos, actually, for a broker, we need your Avid. Can you please send it over? Carlos says, Eva, our brokerage doesn't require Avids. We're not going to provide one. Okay, fine then. Your job, Eva, is to upload that email from Carlos that he has rejected or declined to provide an Avid. Okay, but also on your notes, you say right here, listing agent, right? Decline to provide
The Abby.
their Avid.
Uh-huh.
So when I go through your notes, when I see here, okay, wait, okay, so I see that the other agent decline to provide an Avid. And right here, hit save. Now
Oh,
it stays there. Now this note, I get to review it. Okay, and then my job is to say, okay, Eva, good job. And move on.
okay.
Same thing goes with maybe a TDS, any disclosure they don't want to provide.
You just put a note.
A note, yes, but
Okay.
always do your best to at least request it. Okay.
Right.
Again,
Insist.
I need proof that you have
Right.
requested via email, not a phone
Okay.
call. Again, if you get a text message, put the text message right there. But I need a printout of something that you
Uh-huh.
have requested, the Avid, a TDS, disclosure, and say, you know what, we don't do those. Okay, at least send me back an email that you have rejected or declined to provide disclosure. So I could go back to my broker, because again, if you don't provide that email or that evidence, I cannot close your file, Eva, or anybody to here. So
the
please,
final walkthrough also?
everything,
Because some-
anything they don't want to sign. Also, if the seller has declined to sign, same thing. Send an email. Can you please have the seller sign it? Seller refuse to sign. Okay, fine. Upload that email. Okay, upload that email, and also upload the VP signed by the buyer.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Okay, it's good to know.
Yes. So anything they don't want to sign, okay, or they refuse to sign, at least have your party sign it,
Right.
and also upload the email they have refused or declined to sign or provide that disclosure for your file.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Any questions so far? Any Q&A? Now we're open for Q&A. Open your mics, open your chat box, and let's ask questions.
Freddie, if when you're doing a Skyslope let's say, all right, let's go back to your car forms. When you're doing a contract and it generates an automatic form because you checked off a box.
The
right?
TOA, are you talking about the actual text overflow in them?
Let me give you an example. The KLA, which is the key safe lockbox addendum.
Yes. Oh, you checkbox. You put the little checkbox.
Yeah,
And it
because
does
it tells you, are you going to be using it? And they give you approval. They signed, they accepted it, but
Yes.
then it generated the other addendum, right?
Correct.
But then there's no spot for the KLA. Do you just
Okay.
add it on to the other?
Yeah. So you on your Skyslope, you want to add it here, and we also have a category for card forms miscellaneous disclosure.
Okay.
And now if it's something non-card forms, it goes here. But before you put it to the card forms miscellaneous, Eddie, or anybody here, make sure there's no category, because I have seen an ASA, additional signature addendum, other miscellaneous, when we do have an actual category for the for the actual ASA right here. So before you drop it into the miscellaneous for car forms, please make sure to go through your alphabetized letters or your acronyms and make sure there's no space available for that KLA, for example, in this case. In this case, yeah, it's not here because it's hardly being used. But if it is, apply it. If it's not, if there's no category, then please put it under miscellaneous under car forms. Okay, and also just keep in mind, just because it's a miscellaneous form, okay, if it's not signed by both parties, I will also call you on that as well. Okay, even though it's miscellaneous, again, it needs to have signature from either the seller, the buyer, or both parties. Okay, just because it's there, it doesn't mean it doesn't count. It does count. Okay, any other questions, folks? You said good? Wow, nice. Okay. Good. Gotta go. Okay, Freddy. So next time I see your Skyslope, my friend, it better be nice and clean in. All right?
For sure.
For sure, brother. All right, man. Take care, man. Get a haircut now. Take care. Take it easy.
Dale.
All right. Okay. Well, again, if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Finish our training for today. Don't forget, tomorrow we have our Southgate and the Downey office combined office meeting. We do have a special guest speaker, and she's coming from the Move Easy platform. Help you guys how to help your sellers and your buyers. Pretty much just help them when it comes to moving their furniture, their equipment, their utilities, their services. It's gonna be a great training, a great office meeting. So please don't miss it. Okay. Without that being said, thank you for your time. Be safe. I'll see you guys again next Tuesday.